six of us or whatever, that the quarterback for the New York Jets has a better game than the quarterback for the Bills. Go ahead, roast me, but you know what? I think it's time that switch was turned, and I think he learned from turning his back on the defense, and he's going to keep his face forward a little bit, and he's going to see these slants. He's going to hit the yardage, and our defense is going to kill Josh Allen. I'm going to give you guys some stats that I think that's going to.
I think you should reconsider and go to the game.
Listen, I'll be there. I'll be home. I won't be at the game, but I'll stand behind my take. I'm gonna give you reasons why.
The Bills are beatable. They fucking lost to the Jaguars last year. Didn't even score a touchdown.
Thank you.
This team is beatable.
Thank you.
I'm
tired of the
fucking
annoying
pack this place out. Like Bills fans, they think that they freaking travel, but not when the Jets are 5-3. They don't travel because there's no seats available. So I don't see how they're going to be getting seats. For real, that Patriot game last week, there was no Patriot fans. It was a fucking ghost town. Normally, it's a freaking, it's like 20% of the stadium is packed, but not Sunday. And tomorrow is going to be no Bills fans. So let's fucking go.
I like the energy, guys. We this is the culture change we're talking about. It's not just in the fans. I mean, in the players. It's in the fans. Like, yo, let's. I'm not here like Rex said. We're not here to kiss rings. I'm not here. What has Josh Allen fucking done? Sorry, I cursed, guys, but what has he done? He's good. So okay, cool. He has as many rings as Benny has. As many rings as I have. Buffalo has as many rings as all of us have. So until you do something, I'm not going to sit here and anoint you as anything. So beat us. Beat this team and say, okay, then you're better than us. You haven't beaten this team yet. You beat the team last year. And you know what? You look good. Your team looks good. But you know what? Zach is 4-1. And we're going to bash the shit out of this kid. All right. But let him play the team. This is the game where they don't have their safeties planned. And he can utilize his weapons. Oh, Josh Allen has so many weapons. All right. So does Zach. The Bills have a great defense. So does the Jets. All right, so we can beat them. All right, so here's what I'm going to support this with a little bit. All right, Josh Allen, he's thrown for 314 yards a game. That's first in the NFL. 19 touchdowns. That's second in the NFL. I do not doubt this kid's talent, and I wish that our quarterback had a talent level of somebody like this. But you know what? I think our guy's going to have a better career. So mark that, because he's going to win championships here, and that's where you remember. I don't want a Jim Kelly. I don't want a Dan Marino. I want Tom Brady. Somebody's going to bring you rings, jewelry. This guy's all right, Buffalo. I don't care. We're playing you. We're going to play you good tomorrow. All right. So Diggs had 8 targets, 6 receptions, 108 yards last week. He averaged 109 yards a game. That's good stats. Guy's killing it. All right, but you're going to pour some sauce on this guy. Sauce has got 12 passes defended. He's tied for first in the NFL. A rookie. 12 passes defended. Tied for first. 63% rate. Interception. Reed, six passes defended, 77% rate. So our defensive coverage isn't Diggs ain't gonna get what he's been getting. Allen's not getting what he's getting. I'm sorry. I believe in our defense because our Jets defense has 21 sacks this year. The Bills defense has only given up 11. You think that their stats are going to be 11 sacks to our 21, or is it going to be the reversed? I think we can take advantage of them, not the other way around. I got faith in that. It's the offense. Our offense versus their defense is everybody's worry. I have faith that our quarterback turns the light switch after almost winning against Bill Belichick in the game that he should have won. And he's going to look at this tape and say, I lost this game. And that light switch moment is this game. I lost the game against Bill Belichick. I cost the New York Jets. I cost Robert Saleh this game. He's going to turn that light switch on and lead his Jets for victory. And that's where the New York Jets are outplaying Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Maybe not in the stat line where Zach Wilson lights it up. He's got 350 yards and Josh Allen has 250. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that key interception that Josh Allen throws against our stellar defense and loses them the game. And then our Zach Wilson does not do that for them. That's what I'm talking about. So that's my take for this week. And I had a lot of people give me shit for it, and I'm fine with it. But I'm going to stand by it, and Monday we can all talk again. So I think the Jets, I've been calling it all week. Jets are going to, all year, off season, the Jets are going to lose this game. We're going to lose this game. I think we can win this game. My betting side of me would not bet the Jets win this game. I'm not an idiot, but I think we can win this game. Benny, what do you think?
Yeah, this is gonna take an almost perfect game. I'm not necessarily worried about our defense. I think our defense lines up really well. Our strength of our defense is, I mean, we got a good defensive line. We got a strong defensive line. They had a good offensive line. They got firepower on the outside, but we have lockdown cornerbacks on the outside. So that's going to be an interesting chess match, like to see the least. Um, the biggest X factor, in my opinion, for our defense is controlling Josh Allen's legs. He's fucking dynamic in the run game. I know he himself averages, not that he's running a whole lot, but he averages around 4.5 yards a clip. Our defense, I think, running backs and quarterbacks, whatever, only average 3.8 yards per carry versus us. So it's going to be interesting on that side of the fact. But a number that I want a lot of Jets fans kind of keeping in the back of their head, the Bills' offense does average 2 turnovers per game. They have a lot of firepower where they could put up a lot of points to match those turnovers. But if Zach Wilson plays, I don't care if he throws 100 fucking yards. If he plays a clean game and doesn't turn the ball over, and we turn Josh Allen over, that's where our chance to win will be. I have confidence in our defense. But if Zach Wilson starts doing a little too much, gets happy feet and bails out of the pocket, and doesn't trust his team, I think we'll be in a little bit of trouble. And then he'll start turning it over. And once you turn it over versus the Bills, it's hard to really recover from that. But so Zach Wilson needs to play a clean game, and our defense needs to continue that trend on creating those turnovers. If we do that, it should be a game in the fourth quarter where even if we're down, we'll have an opportunity. Do we put out? Who knows? But having that opportunity in the fourth quarter is all we could really ask for as fans versus the best team in the league. Like, let's be completely frank here.
Yeah, I just want them to make a statement. I mean, like, this is the measuring stick. Like, this is the Buffalo Bills. Everybody's picking them to win the Super Bowl. Everybody's anointing Josh Allen MVP. Week 4 we were out doing this. Before the season you're doing this. So this is the measuring stick against our offense, our defense, our coaching staff, like everything is this game. Are the Jets real? They're 5-2. Well, they played the Patriots and lost. It's 5-2. Was that a force? They should have won that game. I mean, this is kind of like, to me, if we lose this game, we're going to be going into the bye week with 5-4, and every one of us would have been happy with that before the season if we told us that was happening. But then we're playing, we're still playing the Patriots again, and we got that's tough again, Patriots. So Belichick time to prepare for us after seeing what we were last time. So that's a tough battle too. So I won't look past any of that, but this is a measuring stick game. This is where we see what we really are. And I think that if Zach gets lit up, and I want excuses that, he played the best defense. All right, well, he played good defenses before too. But I want to see other players step up. We have to win this game, I think, on a turnover. Like, I think we have to get a special teams play. There's always different aspects into a game. Everybody just wants to say it's offense, defense. No, you have special teams. You have turnovers. You have starting position, field position. So.
Justin, I mean, obviously, all you guys know DJ, who used to be a beat reporter for the Jets. We all know he's a Dolphins fan. I'm pretty cool with DJ. So I asked him, I was like, yo, how the hell did the Dolphins beat the Bills just a few weeks ago? And he said the key to it was field position. So if we, like you said, special teams is a big factor. We've had really good weeks on special teams and horrible weeks on special teams. We need our special teams to kind of execute, and we need to definitely play that field position game where you're forcing Josh Allen and that offense to go 8-10 plays to put up points, because as I said, they average 2 turnovers a game. The more plays you make them run, the chances are they're more likely to give you a turnover. So we need to play that field position game and help Zach Wilson, because the same goes for Zach Wilson. If we're making Zach Wilson go 10 plays to score a touchdown versus that Bills defense, it's probably not going to happen. So we're going to need to play that field position game 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have Braden Mann, shanking out of bounds 20 yards, giving them the ball, the 40, 50-yard line. those kind of big plays. Not just us making big plays, but preventing them from making big plays. Not setting us up for points, but preventing them from getting points. Those things happen. We have Braxton Berrios. He was last year an All-Pro, a returner. Get him. He needs to get the ball and get electric. Get him outside. Get him up the seam. Whatever he's got to do. Get us in good field position and start the drive. Like you just said, if he goes to 3 and out, all right, cool, whatever. Kick the ball, and get a field goal. We were there. We've had Westhoff in our show a while ago, and he said that Chad Pennington really did well with the Jets because of a lot of the special teams that he pat himself on the back for. And he gave him a short field to play with. I think that's big. So it's going to be a very big defensive game, and I just hope that our defense doesn't get tired out because we're not getting those first downs and moving the ball because this field is too long. So, what's up, Joe? Joe Bagonis, what's up, man? How you doing?
Justin, what's up? I had to unmute myself. Sorry about that.
No problem, man. What are you thinking? Do you think it's a bloodbath on either side of the field? Think it's a close game? What do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
I have no opinion on what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just kind of in the watch and wait. I think definitely last week was a low point for Zach. So I think you're right. I think that was kind of a rock bottom moment. I don't think he'll repeat that because I think when he and the team looked like, just based on the reaction of some of the other players after the game, his reaction, and then like them after watching the film, there's no doubt Zach cost the game. Like everyone else pretty much did their job. The offensive line was okay, not as bad as it had been in the past couple of weeks. And Zach just, interceptions aside, missed way too many throws. Forget the interceptions. He just missed too many layup throws that he could have, even if he had thrown 3 interceptions, he still could have beaten the doors off the Patriots. So I think looking at that will be that kind of, okay, bury the ball. We're gonna move on from that game. So I don't expect a repeat performance against Buffalo. I think the Jets are actually a better matchup against Buffalo than they are against New England, as crazy as that is to say. So like to see them run the ball more. I mean, last week was kind of a joke how quickly they got away from the running the ball when the game was still competitive. And yeah, I don't think the team's gonna have the same mistake. So I'm anticipating a better game.
Hopefully James Robinson is available, bro. Because if he's not, then we got to see a lot more of Ty Johnson. That's not ideal as well.
I'm okay with that though, as long as they just commit to running the ball. The team is the offensive line still can create the holes. It's not a matter of like, oh, they're not going to be able to run the ball if they don't have James. Like they can run the ball with Carter and Johnson, even if let's just say that Robinson's only on a pitch count of like 10 carries, 10 touches for the game. Like that's fine. They can still run the ball. They just need to be balanced. I'm looking at like a lot of funny things. I'm looking up like a lot of historical quarterbacks who struggled early in their career, all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking at a lot of the parallels in terms of how the Jets are constructed, how like those teams were constructed, what type of quarterbacks they were, and it's like too much is made of like, is Zach a game manager? Is Zach turnover prone? It's like, how about he just goes out there and plays quarterback really well? Like nothing else other than that. Like, let's worry about the narrative like in a year or two about what he is. Just go out there, complete passes, and win the game.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying before. The kid's 4-1 in a game that he probably, like you just said, the shoulders the loss for it. With a couple of interceptions, I think the one that got caught it out of bounds, but neither here nor there was still a throw he shouldn't have thrown.
He should have thrown that in the bench.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Neither here nor there. He should have thrown it where the guy wasn't going to even catch it, put his knee down on the ground. But he I don't know. I think he has to play a different game. He has to hike the ball looking at the field. He's running backwards. And at the time he turns around, they're on option 2 of that play. The play that they designed is already done.
Can I tell you, Justin? So I'm putting something together because I don't want to just say this and then everyone be like, "Oh, you're full of shit." Like The quarterback I'm really working on right now, looking at his old film, is John Elway from his second season in '84. There are really a lot of parallels to how Elway played to how Zach is playing, and he made a lot of the same dumb throws off his back foot, scrambling backwards in the pocket, trying to overpower the ball, forcing things. And I'm going to put it together during the bye week because I want people to look at this and go like, you know what? Elway took a long fucking time to be a good quarterback. You look at his statistics from '84; they're as ugly as what Zach's are right now. But you know what? He got over it. He went to the Super Bowl in year 4. So I think Zach will be okay. Like to me, he has all the traits you want from a quarterback. He's just got to calm down and stop trying to be the guy right now. Like stop pressing. He doesn't need to carry the team. And I think that's his problem is he's trying to carry the team. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, we definitely were relying on the running game, and I think we could still do that. A lot of people are discounting the fact that we still got Michael Carter. And last year we were so happy to have him in the backfield that we rely on him, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, we only have Michael Carter back there. What are we going to do? I mean, he's not pretty tall, but I think he can still give us 3.5 to 4 yards of carry. I mean, what do you want? How much more do you want of the guy?
And you don't even need to run it. You don't even need to use him in the running game. Like you give him 5 carries and then you give him 10 touches on swing passes and use him as a supplement. So he's out in space and not running against, defensive linemen and linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Zach isn't making him his first look as every freaking time his check down before he's looking down the field, like he did the second play of the game last week.
Yeah, that one was dumb. But you know what's funny is like the next drive they had the ball. LaFleur ran the same play, and then Zach actually executed that play correctly, where he didn't stare down and make that his first read. So he's actually been okay with that. For whatever reason, he started off the game poorly.
Yeah, I mean, I liked last week seeing them open it up over the top with going with Mims, stretching the field a little bit. Obviously, with having that being Corey's role and having that height for that type of receiver, but I'd like to see them keep going at it with Conklin. It seems to be working. And like you said with Elway, he relied on his tight end for a lot of success. And he also relied on the running game too. It wasn't just the Elway that everybody sees in the highlights. He had Terrell Davis. He had
Well, even go back to like his first year, this guy Wilder, and you look at the balance of how they were executing their offense. His numbers were awful. He had a ton of like 15 of 35 games. Most of his games were 45 to 55% completion, but they were also matching like the passing totals with a running total. Like Denver was really good at running the ball back then, just like the Jets are now. Like Dan Reeves knew that I can't leave this guy on an island or I'm going to get killed.
Yeah.
So he threw 15 picks in his second season.
Yeah, but he never was shied away from his game either, which was being a mobile quarterback, which was slinging the ball on. Oh my God, he's throwing the ball over there. Like he was able to play his game, so he wasn't so cerebral with his approach with feeling under pressure with not being able to take the reins off. Because I think that's when you do too much, you're thinking too much, and you're not doing what you're used to doing, which has made you successful to the point that you're at.
That I would like to see more of from LaFleur and from Zach is just go out there and throw the rock, because there is a little bit too much of this like trying to analyze the defense and all that stuff. Just how you've got 3 really good receivers, just have them go run, beat their one-on-ones, and Zach rip the ball, because when he's just out there swinging the rock, he's actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of the routes they're running are a lot of simple plays, and Zach's still not seeing these open receivers. So and then when a lot of the times when his releases, he's running off his back, he's pedaling backwards, and the ball's sailing because he's releasing the ball so damn high because he's backpedaling. He's not setting his feet. That's when he's got to change his game. These 3 picks. If you don't throw 3 picks and you throw 1. All right, that leads to one score, not 3. Even if it's 3 field goals, that's a 2-possession game. From turnovers. That's what we got to key back on. I don't care that he has, he's 9 for 12 and with no picks and 75 yards. As long as our running game's going, I don't care. I don't need stats. I want wins. He was 4-1. Let's get wins.
Like that's the thing. If the team just keeps winning, eventually he'll work his shit out. Like it's really a funny thing of just how winning is the best disinfectant. It's the magical cure-all. It takes all the pressure off everybody. It gives him the time he needs to work on his game. Like if they lose, it makes everything worse.
It gives you the
just find
confidence.
a way to win.
It gives you the confidence. It gives them the sense that I belong, the sense of belief with the relationship with your coaches, your players, the rest of the team believes in you because we're winning. It's a lot that comes with it. And if we're 4-1, we should be happy with him.
Yep.
Let's
Absolutely.
So I want to see growth from every player. And let's have Zach catch up to the guys that are growing so fast that we're saying that our quarterback isn't growing fast enough to catch up with them. That's a good problem to have. So we're 5-3. We're playing against a team that's supposed to be winning the Super Bowl this year with an MVP quarterback and a coach that they didn't miss his beat without Dayball, who's successful too. Like they just look like the superhero team that we have to beat now. But you know what? We can beat them because we have an awesome defense, and it's something he hasn't seen yet. Oh, they played good defenses. They played good teams. But I think that we're confident enough with the pressure we have with Quinnen, with JFM, with Lawson, to get at him and let him see something he hasn't seen before. Because if he gets past those guys, he's still got to get it to his receivers who are covered by Sauce and Reed.
Like I said, I think the Jets match up very well with Buffalo. So I think we're gonna have a closer game than people are expecting.
I think Quinnen needs to have a freaking monster game, bro. Like, Quinnen needs to do exactly what he's been doing, and our defense will have a shot. We need to collapse the pocket from the inside, like, not necessarily outside, and wrap up because he's not an easy man to tackle. We've seen how many fucking Derrick Henrys these people. Like, it's crazy.
Benny, if he's going up against Saffold, he's got a good shot because Saffold is not the same guy he used to be. So he can take advantage of that.
Yeah. The only plays that I'm worried about with the Jets defense, and it's always been the same damn story, is the third down plays where they want to run the ball on a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, where we're like, we're sending back to defense and pass rush, and here comes Josh Allen for a rush up the middle. Or now they have this Nyheim Hines who's going to get some small package of passing plays. So we got those are the plays that those extend the freaking, extended drives, and it just pulls the wind out of the sails of the crowd, of the whole defense. Just like it's 3rd and 8, the crowd's going nuts, and then here comes the first down. Damn it, let's reset up. It sucks, man. So we gotta stop them on 3rd downs, man. Like we really do. But I got a couple hands up. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate the insight, man. Ray's here. What's up, Ray? Say hello to Ray, and then we're gonna get
What's going on? I'm interested to hear the conversation. I actually think I'm not going to say we're going to win tomorrow, but I don't think it's the old Jets where we're not getting blown out. This defense is just too damn good. But I want to hear what everybody else has to say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer than people are going to give credit for, that they're predicting whatever. But I think Zach, that light switch, man, has to be turned on at some point. I have faith that it's going to. I believe in our coaching staff. I believe in our GM that they believe in this guy, and I trust that they think he's the guy. I trust that he's going to be the guy too. So I'm going to let my eyes be deceiving last week and believe that the flashes I've seen in Zach are going to be more and more consistent. And I think last week playing against the Patriots and Bill Belichick and him going home watching the tape and saying, wow, those 3 interceptions really cost us the game. And all my teammates really wanted to beat the Patriots, and I wanted to beat the Patriots, and it was my mistakes that did it. I don't think he's going to say it out loud, but he's got to go home and watch that and be like, wow, what the hell was I thinking? I don't know. So let's go over to Matty Ice.
Hey, guys, I just hope everyone tomorrow, Jets, Bills, I hope everyone has a good time and that everyone gets a trophy. And I hope that we're going to find out. I guess we're going to find out if we have a good defense or if we have a great defense tomorrow. But I don't really have anything else to say. It's like, I just want to be in the game, and hopefully we play a really good game and we have something to build on confidence-wise going into the bye.
Yeah, Petey, I don't know why you're putting the thumbs down, bro. It's true. Our defense is good, but we haven't faced what we're gonna face tomorrow, and that's gonna separate the boys.
I love to hear Petey why I got the thumbs down for that one, but I mean, we've played some really good defensive games versus some teams that were without their quarterbacks, and we've looked very good doing it. And now it's time to play the big
I
boys.
didn't like the participation trophy comment. That's it.
I was waiting
But
for
that,
him to finish, but I didn't do the thumbs
yeah,
down
but that
emoji.
Well,
I heard it late. I know it was sarcastic, but hey,
okay, it
no
was
slander
sarcasm,
to
yeah.
the fire with ice. All right, his hands up.
Yeah,
I'll
never.
jump in after the hands.
Trophy. I'll shine it up and
Here,
turn that
Maddie,
bitch
look.
sideways.
After you,
Oh,
Maddie.
Thanks, Petey. All right. Yeah, I'm just listening, guys. Thanks for the space, though. I'm just listening in tonight.
Yeah, Maddie.
All right, Maddie. Thanks, brother. Over to Rob. Let's go, Rob.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, I have a good feeling about tomorrow. I really do. I mean, one thing, Buffalo's secondary's banged up, so and last year, last year we kind of kept Diggs in check until we had that injury. I forget whether it was to Eccles or Hall, and then he kind of went off after that. I don't, they're very one-dimensional, that offense, and I feel like they feed right into actually the defense we play. They're like the one team all year that I feel like, if we can keep Allen, if we make Allen become a patient quarterback, it plays right into our hands. So I really like that matchup. I have a good feeling about tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be at the game, but it's going to be a nice day. And I think with the Zach stuff from earlier, he's just got to let it rip. I mean, he really isn't he looks very unsure. He doesn't do a lot of directing at the line of scrimmage, which makes me nervous that maybe we have like a Browning Nagel problem where he likes to play golf more than football or something. But he doesn't look, he doesn't look like he has great control at the line of scrimmage, which makes me nervous. But tomorrow he's just got to let it rip. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Justin, can I say one thing?
Yeah.
To Robert's point, he does need to let it rip. Again, I know I mentioned the Dolphins game earlier, because that sort of kind of is the blueprint, because they did it, and they did it with their banged up secondary. They were also missing their two safeties when they played the Dolphins. And I know we don't have Tyreek Hill, but what they did was stretch that defense. They took their shots, and that worked for them because they didn't have their star duo at the safety position. So Zach is going to, at certain points, as much as we want him to be controlled and everything like that, but I need to see his arm tomorrow, because that's where he's going to be able to take advantage of it, not so much a linebacker play because they're sick.
Yeah, if I could just say something real quick, sorry, but yeah, Benny, I totally agree with you, man. Look, we didn't draft. We're not dealing with Chad Pennington here. This is like more like Favre. The Elway comparison, I guess it's okay, but it's really more like Favre. He's at his best. I think it's going to be like a 5 touchdown, 3 interception game. Like when gets to that point, I don't think it's going to be 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's going to be him ripping it all over the field and occasionally throwing a pick. And I think that's what he is, but we'll see.
Yeah. Now, I was just looking at a stat. Now, this is something I've always looked at, that Josh Allen, he fumbles the ball a lot, guys. And if we get this kind of pressure on him, maybe we get a fumble and we pick it up and the big guy touchdown, or we get the ball in the red zone because he fumbled it on the first play of a drive and we're back that far. Big plays happen. Josh Allen has 44 fumbles in his career. He's got 5 of them this season in 7 games. 5 in 7 games, almost won a game. Get to him, hit him. That's his weakness. That's one thing I see he does have weakness with is his fumbles. He runs a lot. He's a runner. So go ahead, Mike.
Hey, I just wanted to say I agree with you about the Zach stats, and I don't really care what his stats will look like as long as we win, and he doesn't turn the ball over. But reality is, a lot of people in the fan base will tell you when he has, the games like the Packers and the Broncos that, it's unbelievable. We're coddling this kid. We want to see him throw and actually make the passes, and we can't just keep coddling him and not giving him a chance to grow. So there's that aspect as well. So just wanted to hear your opinion on that.
No, I see it because I want to see him look good in the game and not be the reason that we lost and be the reason we're winning in spite of him. I want our guy to look good too. There's no reason why I wouldn't want him to put up 225 and throw for 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Good game, great, but he still handed the ball off a lot and had a balanced call and game. It seems like we're on the teeter totter here of not having balanced play calling. As far as, but maybe Zach's calling out of him. I don't know, but with the audibles, but the way we're seeing it, the way they're running it is with Flacco and the Pittsburgh game. It was just let's throw the ball willy nilly. Let's just throw it out, throw it around. And then the games with Brees, we didn't even run the ball at all. I mean, not throw the ball at all. And now we're back to not running it again, and he's struggling. So I think it has to be a balance where there's a rhythm for the guy. And he's just got to stop making stupid plays, man. And then I think then we won't even be talking about it when he throws 330 yards and doesn't have 3 interceptions and we beat the Patriots. We wouldn't even be talking about it. Go ahead, Petey. Petey, get your hand up, man. You there? All right. Well, I don't know. I think that, like I said, I was saying before, the point I was making is we got to get the pressure that we're good at on our defense is getting pressure and containing him to the middle. And I think if we can contain him, we can wind up getting him to fumble the ball and give us a turnover or forcing an errant throw. Or we just, like I said, special teams and we have good field position. That's what I'm hoping for. Petey, can you hear me?
Yeah, my bad. I walked away from my phone, had the beats, and what's up, guys? Just trying to keep it quiet. The kids are sleeping. So, yeah, I agree. The whole Josh Allen thing, though, notoriously, he's fumbled a lot against the Jets, too, and turned the ball over a lot. So the Jets' pass rush is pretty relentless. The linebackers scare me, though, with the coverage and all that. But I think the Jets can do a couple of things on offense, but they got to, if they don't score 20 points or whatever, 21 points at least, they ain't winning the game in my eyes. So they got to score a lot of points, and I think they should get creative, maybe put Barrios or Moore in the backfield, motion them out from the backfield into the, slot or something. They're going to throw the kitchen sink. They need to, because, we got to beat Buffalo. We got to just, do other things that they're not expecting. I think I don't know if anybody remembers the Miami game with the throwback to Barrios and all that. And then Zach was pretty efficient in that game. So, I mean, there ain't no moral victories, but, hopefully they can just keep it close. And I do think the 2 safeties being out for Buffalo is a huge concern for Buffalo. So if the Jets can get behind them, Garrett Wilson, and especially I saw a lot of Mims, even though they didn't throw the ball to him. I mean, he had to come out of a couple of plays because Mims was like 60 yards down the field and he couldn't get back in time to get the play off.
Yeah, that's why, Petey. That's why, Petey, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's why I think that our tight ends are going to have a big game this game because they're going to have the double coverage. If somebody's got to cover up top, that's going to open up down low for the tight ends. That's what I'm hoping for anyway, for a nice big game from Conklin. But I think that's a valuable point that you're making is that their safety's being as big. We can use anything we can against them as injuries. That not them, the guys not playing. We want to play them 100%. Don't get me wrong, but to get a division win, and they have a couple of guys out, we got to exploit where their weaknesses.
And if we
got
this
guys
game,
out too.
Yeah,
Justin,
I know.
if we win this game, last week is forgotten. Last week's New England game's forgotten, bro. And you didn't interrupt me. You're good. You're the host. You can do whatever the F you want, brother.
I don't like to interrupt anybody. I'm a gentleman.
All good. Thanks for letting me come up.
Petey, you're the man. Terrence, what's up, buddy? How you feeling tonight? What are you thinking about tomorrow, man?
Yeah, Justin.
We got a chance in this or what?
Yeah, we have a chance, and I'm always going to say the Jets are going to win, or predict, or come up with a scenario where the Jets are going to win. But the way it's got to happen is we know Buffalo is a superior team at this stage. We're a young and up and coming team with some issues at quarterback. Everybody knows it. But every week I get excited because to me, I say to myself, this is the week that Zach puts it all together. This is the week, just like, I was hoping that it was Sam the same way. And that's what I'm eager to see tomorrow, that I'm excited about. Besides the fact that this defense is much improved compared to last year. I want to see how our cornerbacks do against Stephon Diggs. And I just think we have to start playing a little bit how we were playing during our 4-game winning streak. And we have to hope that Buffalo comes in and basically plays a little bit below their level.
Buffalo Soldier.
Hello? Oh, okay. Winter Soldier. Yeah. But we just got to hope that, that Buffalo plays a little below their norm and we play a little bit higher. And that, look, we can't especially now without Breece Hall. Robinson is a good player, but it's going to have to be, as you were saying, Justin, a mixture of the running and the passing. And, like I said, it's a new game. I want to see what Zach does. He was obviously pissed after what happened last week. I don't know what the coaches said to him in the locker room. I don't know what the players said to him in the locker room. I just hope that he knows that this loss was on him. He's feeling the pressure of the New York media. He's feeling
There's
it
blood
from
on his hands.
What? Hey, can people stop interrupting me for a second? All right.
Sorry, Terrence. Sorry.
Yeah, just for a minute. I'm gonna land right now.
Sorry, Terrence.
All right. I think we're gonna.
Just
we're gonna
carry
win.
on, Terrence. It's fine.
Terrence, I apologize. I removed them from speaker. It's rude. Go ahead.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks. No, I was looking for him so I could block the motherfucker. So next time, let me know who he is. Anyway, so as I was saying, I'm excited to see what Zach does coming off this adversity, and let's see what happens because we definitely need a combination of running and passing to make this offense effective tomorrow against obviously what some people will say, including Whittle up here with us speaking, probably the best team in the NFL. And with that, I'll just thanks.
Well, it looks like Elon Musk is hip to work here. We're getting bots like nuts, and I don't know what's going on. So,
I'm crying over here.
He's gonna find this mother effer.
Terrence, you make me crack up, bro. Never change.
Yeah. Listen, we got a good Bills fan in here. Maddie, I'll get to you in a second. But Whittle, my man, I know he's here to talk ball. I know nobody's here for the smoke, but I'm here for the smoke because I'm sure you saw my tweet. But let's go. What do you think, man? What do you think that let me ask you a simple question first before we go nuts.
Sure.
Those safeties being out, how worried is your defense with? I mean, obviously it's the Jets. You guys are going to tell me you're worried about them at all. But with them being out, how big is that to change your defensive look, the way your defense looks?
I think they're going to play a lot more conservatively in the secondary. You'll see way. I mean, you won't see the exotic. You won't see any. I don't think you'll see anything really exotic like what we drew up for like Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. You won't see anything like that, but you'll definitely see some robber concepts where you have a safety high and safety underneath trying to take away anything over the middle. I think that'll free up one of our linebackers. If we run that'll free up one of our linebackers to be able to kind of spy Zach Wilson, not allow him to feel comfortable that he can just take off and run. And also it's going to help with rallying in the checkdowns. What I will say is that we do have safety depth that we picked up in the trade deadline. He played for this team for a number of years, played significant minutes before he left via free agency. So We are very comfortable with Dean Marlowe playing alongside of DeMar Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin's been playing pretty good at as Micah's replacement. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it would worry me more if your quarterback was somebody else. But based on what I've seen from Zach Wilson, I mean, he's the way our pass rush is. I think we can get him to make some mistakes. So the corners have been playing very, very well. I think Frazier's going to do all that he can to protect the safeties as much as possible. So there will be opportunities for underneath routes from the wide receivers, especially outside the numbers. I think they're going to play a little softer out there just to avoid getting beat over the top or having a safety kind of be in the wrong spot. So there's going to be opportunities to move the football, but ultimately, I think we're too talented offensively to not score more than the Jets. I don't think it's going to be a 30. I may talk shit and say 38-7. I don't think it's going to be a 38-7 game. I think it's more along the lines of maybe like 31-20, 31-24, something like that. So I mean, I think it could be closer than what the line says. I believe the Jets can cover.
Well, like I said earlier, I predicted the Jets win, but if I was betting, I don't know if I'd be betting too much money.
I'm shocked Whittle's got us putting up potentially 24 points. I mean, when's the last time Zach did that?
I don't think it's going to be Zach. I think you guys are going to get really, really creative. Somebody brought this up earlier and said, I think it might have been Mark Torres said that, look for them to pull out all the stops and throw some trick plays out there. And with a safety just coming back to Buffalo from, after being out for a long time on other teams, and DeMar Hamlin being, this is his first year seeing significant snaps. I mean, we might get burnt on we might get beat deep on a trick play, somebody being a little too aggressive or whatever. I mean, Michael Carter is not an every down back, but he's still got some juice. He's still electric with the ball in his hand. So I mean, and then Buffalo hasn't always tackled the best in the secondary. So there might be a situation where Garrett Wilson or Elijah Moore catch a ball, break a tackle, and then they're gone. So there's the possibility for things like that to happen. But ultimately, I think Josh and his offense, they're really clicking. You guys don't really defend tight ends well, so I think we're going to try to go after your. I think we're going to try to the seams. I think we're going to try to with the field and definitely
exactly.
that intermediate route. The intermediate routes. I'm trying to get your linebackers into space. So shit like that, man. I mean, it's not rocket science. If you watch enough games, you can tell what the game plan is going to be. It's just who's gonna execute, and we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because I think that obviously we play a lot of nickel, and I've been talking about this for months. That in our division we got guys like Gesicki, guys like Knox. They're relied on in their offense. They're a big part of their offense for their teams, and that's why we got to go get guys like Quan Alexander, because Quincy isn't a guy who could cover well. So we wanted to go out and go get Quan Alexander. We line up in nickel formations and putting Michael Carter out there in the slot, that maybe he can go up and line up against Knox. Those are the guys you got to watch, because he's the ones who could extend the play and get, even if it's a 4-yard, hey, I'm running across the line of scrimmage and then I'm running backwards while he's in the backfield running, to extend the play. Those players are big, especially in the red zone. So that's a key matchup, and it's going to be overlooked because everybody's looking at Sauce versus Diggs, this Diggs, and who's the other receiver you guys are that's killing it, Gabe. So those guys show up big.
Justin, I think the Jets are going to play a lot of dime defense tomorrow, like they did against Miami.
We're going to run on that. We're going to run on that if you do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know,
running
but
all day.
I think they're going to keep like they did with Miami. They kept everything in front of them, and they'll give up the big play on. They'll give up the run, and hopefully hold and contain Buffalo to not get in the big plays.
Yeah.
so that they're still, and that's what they did to Miami, and it worked. I'm not sure what they're gonna do, but their base defense
The
is done.
addition. I'm sorry, my bad.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's all right. Go ahead.
No, I was saying the addition of Naeem Hines.
Mhm.
I'm really excited to see what kind of wrinkle that's going to be for the offense. Like,
Yeah, but is
he's electric.
Himes gonna play? Is Himes
No,
gonna
yeah,
play a
Hines
lot?
is going to play.
Pass
He's going to
lot?
play.
Yeah, he'll be there for passing downs.
He's definitely going to play.
But let's get over to Matty. He had to stand up for a while. Go ahead, Matty.
Yeah, no, I was talking a lot about that this morning. Also, Mark might have been talking about it as well, but talking about whipping out all the stops, trip plays. I think you're going to see a lot of that tomorrow. A lot of gadget stuff, and in order for us to win this game, it's going to be a lot of trick plays. And I'm just actually very excited to see where we stand versus probably the best team in the league. I think it's not to sound like the coaches, but it's a unique opportunity to see where you stand. Right? It's to raise your game when you play versus the best. So I'm sort of excited to see how they play. It should be fun to sort of watch it, and yeah, I just hope that I hope Zach plays a little bit better and that they have something to build on going into the bye. But there was something else I want to say. Oh yeah, Petey was saying before, like, these Bills ain't going anywhere, guys. Like they're going to be here for the next 4 or 5 years, 6 years. Who knows, right? So we're going to have to deal with them, and this is the new, improved, elite version of the Bills. So hopefully it's the start of a new rivalry with Zach playing hopefully better and better.
Yeah, I just think that they really have to get the Jets really have to get big production from the backs. We need to get big chunk yardage, just like Green Bay did. I mean, they ran the clock out on themselves, but big chunk yardage is what we got to do, get ourselves in a good field position. But go ahead, Benny.
Yeah. No, I just got a quick question for Whittle. Because, like, being completely honest, you got two fucking lethal weapons in Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. And obviously, you said it that I think your tight end play is going to be fucking fantastic against our linebackers and shit. But just to play devil's advocate, where would you play Sauce and DJ Reed? Would you think Sauce is a better matchup against Stephon Diggs or Gabe Davis, who obviously has big play? Like every time I watch him play, he's scoring a 50-yard fucking touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like which matchup do you think is more beneficial? For the Jets' perspective, I mean.
If I were coaching the defense, I would have Sauce travel with Davis, and I would have Reed travel with Diggs, as long as they're on the outside. I wouldn't shift those guys into the interior at all. But whatever side that matchup, like, I would keep Sauce on Davis because Davis is a bigger target. 6'2", 225. Good speed, good off the line. He's got good punch at the line. He knows how to use his hands to get away from a cornerback trying to press him. But Sauce is a big kid too, 6'4", 6'3", whatever. I don't know how much.
He's got very long arms.
Yeah. He's a long kid with good speed. So I mean, and one thing I liked about him in the coming out, like one thing I like about him is that he's not one of those tall corners that can't move laterally. He can't change direction. Like, he's very, very good at flipping his hips. He's very good at turning. He's very good at matching routes. Like, he's very good at that, and most tall corners aren't. So I would just keep him on Davis, because Davis is an underrated route runner, but Davis is Davis will overpower a typical size corner. That's basically what he was doing against Kansas City. I mean, it's kind of just like what he does now. And then I would just put Reed on Diggs and bring help as needed, because they're going to attack. They're going to take their shots at Sauce and Reed. They're just going to do it.
I think Whittle, I really think what's going to happen is Buffalo's going to move Diggs into the slot, because we all know he's an amazing slot receiver whenever, because the Jets' corners don't travel. They just don't. Saleh doesn't believe in that right now. So it's very rare not going to say they don't, but it's so rare that they actually do it. And they believe in Michael, the other Michael Carter so much they leave him in the slot. He is one of the better slot corners in football, but he doesn't compare to what you have with Reed and Sauce on the outside. So if I'm the Bills, that's my game plan. I'm moving Diggs back and forth in the slot because the Jets don't play man coverage. So then he'll wind up on the third best corner on the team and just take advantage of that situation. We saw it last year. You guys did that to us the entire game. Diggs was in the slot just eating us alive, and there was nothing we could do about it. But one thing that I'm excited to see is, last year we left Diggs one-on-one on the outside, if everybody remembers, and freaking Gidry out there, for crying out loud. A guy that's barely an NFL cornerback. We're lining him up one-on-one, and we have to hear the excuses. So it's going to be interesting because I think we do have a pair of top 10 corners, without a doubt in my mind. I believe they actually are grading out that way too.
Yeah. Was I just looking at a stat before about Sauce, and he's where the hell was it? 10th best in the league at the Jets are allowing 203 yards, or 10th best in the league. What's up with Sauce? It's 12 pass effects. I already talked about that before. Oh, it's 37 tackles. That's one thing I wanted to talk about Sauce. He's making some great open field tackles too. Like that's one thing you can't, discount from this guy too. He plays long. He opens his hips like he was talking about. So he's definitely keeping the guy in front of him. But he's making the tackles in backfield. I think last week he had a 2-yard loss tackle last week. Those are big. So I don't know. If anybody wants to be a speaker, come on up. And if you want to speaker, put your hand up so I know that you want to say something. We have a lot to talk about. So up top, don't forget to up top we got the link tree for the website, the shop, our Twitter, the YouTube, all that good stuff. So Rusty,
Whittle.
what's up, Rusty?
Hey, how was it?
How you feeling, Rusty? What do you think for tomorrow? How you feeling? Think we got a chance? Think Zach can turn this around or what?
Well, I think there's always a chance. And with a guy like Zach, he's going to have good games and bad games. And he already had the bad game. So hopefully this will be the good game. And if so, we can keep this close. And who knows what can happen in the fourth quarter. Because he's usually his best in the fourth quarter. So, like I said, if we can keep it close, if we can establish a run game and actually not abandon it, then I think we have a chance. I mean, we have to also have really good special teams. We can't have any shanked punts that gives Buffalo really good field position like we had last week. And if our kicker does a good job and the defense holds and can contain Josh Allen for not getting too many runs on his own, I like I said, I think we have a chance. I'm not gonna come out and just say, oh, we're gonna win this game no matter what or anything like that, because that would be foolish. But I do think realistically, if we do all those things, we could win. And any Sunday that can happen. And like I said, if you keep it close, anything can happen in the fourth quarter.
Justin, don't you think the simple game plan for Buffalo is going to be, let's stack the line of scrimmage and force the Jets to win one-on-one on the outside? I think if we have any shot at winning this game, Garrett Wilson is going to have the game of his life. Because I don't know what the hell is going on with this stuff with Elijah Moore, but he's got to get a ton of snaps. You got to put him in the slot. Just enough's enough. Mims is probably going to get snaps on the outside. They seem to be impressed with him. Maybe this is the game where they finally, we always hear about he's 6'3", he's tall, he's lanky. Maybe this is the final game where he goes up and actually catches a big ball in one-on-one coverage.
Well, didn't he do that with New England? Right?
I'm trying to recall.
Because I know he had a couple really good catches.
It was a slant route.
Yeah, I'm talking about, we keep hearing about his ability to go up and get the ball. It's what he did at Baylor, those one-on-ones.
Yeah.
You know,
Where,
that's
where
what
he's
I,
where
that's
he's
what I'm
covered
looking
and he makes a 50-50 grab. That's what we need.
Right, exactly. You know, what's going on, Nathan? You got anything for us?
I don't know, but Rusty just pumped me up. I'm ready to go. I was down in the dumps, but our D's going to keep it a 1-2 score game. And, that just gives Zach an opportunity. Listen, his mistakes are fixable. He's not misreading coverages. He's just making boneheaded plays. And I think we got a chance if it's a 1-2 score game. Why not? Why not?
I think, you know what's funny? Benny and I spoke earlier today on the phone. And I said, Benny, it's, I believe, actually, no, I was talking to Justin earlier today on the phone about this. Benny, it was something else. But I'm like, every time we play Josh Allen, even when it is a close game, we'll have them in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. And we always give up the quarterback run for 15 yards.
Ray, you're spot on. That's what scares me the most. It's not Diggs tomorrow. It's Allen.
Right.
Stepping up in the pocket and putting Mosley in his jock. That's what scares me.
Well, there's two things I want to look for. If we do get them in 3rd and long, do not do that stupid 3-man rush thing because he tears us apart when we do it. We've tried in the past. It never works. And we have a guy like Kwan Alexander here that is a hell of an athlete with speed and great tackling ability. I wonder if they'll look into maybe spying Allen on those long downs, from a distance. Obviously not right on top of the line, but this entire game is going to be keen on our pass rush. If our pass rush can't get home, we're going to get destroyed. You got to stop the run and get them in 3rd and long and let this pass rush eat. But it's going to be keen on these guys also not getting too far up the field. How many times have we seen that? Where Carl Lawson loves to line up 10 yards down the line of scrimmage, it feels, which opens up that running lane for a quarterback like Allen.
Yeah. The linebackers, you need to have Quan in there who's got some speed. And Quincy Williams is too aggressive. That's what worries me a bit. Is I'd like to see Quan in there a bit more. It's a bit more speed, a bit of a safer linebacker, a bit more agile than Mosley, and not as, hit or miss as Williams.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I dogged on Williams the entire offseason. He has played very serviceable. I'm not going to say he's some great player, but he hasn't been over pursuing nearly as much as last year. It looks like the coaches finally got in his head now. I don't want to eat my words tomorrow, but from what I've been seeing on film.
Ray, you remember that play last year against the Broncos, that long 3rd down when Quincy Williams missed the check down by a mile and they ran for a 1st down? You probably don't remember it.
Well, I don't remember that specific play. I just remember so many plays last year where the run would be going left, but it's really a counter play and he would get completely eaten up. It seems like when we even saw it last week against New England. He blew up a play or two in the backfield where the ball was hiked, and it's almost like he's really keying in on that film study, and he knew what was coming, and he hit the hole. So it's positive to see that, but tomorrow's a key game, man. I feel like a lot of Jet fans are rolling over and just taking it as an L, and we're happy to go into the break, 5-4. But
I know Michael's got his hand up, so I apologize, but let me pose a question for the group. What the over/under on Zach Wilson throws tomorrow? I got it at like 35. I think it's going to have to be a pass-heavy game.
If he's throwing it 35 times, we're in trouble, I feel. That's just me. You can go around the room with that, Justin, if you want. I think the keeper is
35.
That's what I think. I think it's going to be maybe that's aggressive. Call it 31, somewhere around there. I'm thinking.
So how many runs? How many runs you talking about? 20? 20 runs, 31 pass?
Something like that. I mean, I think their run D, they're going to make Wilson throw the ball, and I'm not too worried about that. I think he'll eliminate the boneheaded plays, but I think it's going to be somewhere north of 30 throws.
All right, you know what? Let's go around the room with that. That's good, Mike. And then you can after that segment, we'll go back to Mike. Over under 31. I think they're going to go under. I think that they saw that what Green Bay can do against the run, and Miami too. So I got to go under. I think they go closer to more of like a 25. Ray.
I agree. If we're throwing that much that means we're playing from behind.
Well, that's where you might get his numbers, but Rusty, over under 31 pass attempts.
Can I say push?
All right.
I think because I think he's gonna throw at least 30 times, but a lot is going to depend on whether or not they give up on the run. If they give up on the run, then he'll have more because there'll be no choice.
Yeah, I think Ray made a great point about the playing from behind. You know, you could definitely pad some stats with looking like, oh wow, he threw the ball 60 times. Yeah, all right, well,
We
30.
saw that last week.
I know exactly. So
If it's 60 times, my TV will be off. I'll tell you that.
Well,
I
let's
don't think-
41 times.
Petey, what do you think, bud? 31 pass plays, over under 31 pass attempts. If you can speak, Petey. I'll come back to you.
Use your thumbs, Petey.
Over 31, thumbs up. Under 31, thumbs down. How about we do that in the room? Let's do that with everybody instead of
Oh,
going
you
around.
heard me? Sorry.
Petey's taking the over. I know
No,
it.
I'm going over 31, under 35.
All right, over 31. Let's see.
Yep.
You know what? Everybody right now, let's do over 31. Everybody thumbs up. All right, do everybody under 31 thumbs down. Listeners included.
Look at all the listeners putting their thumbs up. I'm scrolling. All right, a lot of people got confidence in the kid.
All right, let's put up some
I
points.
think before Mike speaks, I just think under 31 indicates we were ahead the whole game. Over 31 means we're coming from behind, like you said, Ray, and I'm more apt to think he's going to have to throw.
Okay. All right, let's keep going around the room. You guys want to take on that? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, so I agree with what Terrence said. I'm hoping for under 31, more like the 25 range, because then at that point, I think we would have not control, but we would at least be in our zone. We're playing our game. We're not forced to throw too much. But what I wanted to say has nothing to do with the Jets. The Rutgers Michigan game is actually a game. Rutgers is winning 17-14 right now, if anybody's interested. So just wanted to let you know.
Really?
Enjoy the rest.
I got it on the back.
I did not expect that.
There's a guy in the Cincinnati Bengals space who's a Michigan alum, so he's freaking out right now that I know. Jake, his name is.
I know Coach, the Bills fan, also wanted to see Michigan destroy Rutgers, and I didn't think it was going to be game. I thought it was going to be 40-0 at this point. But then I randomly turned it on just to see what's going on, and yeah, we're winning apparently. So maybe that's good news for the Jets tomorrow. If Rutgers can pull this off, what the hell can we do? We can do that too.
Hey, it's any given Sunday, man. We can win, guys. All right, I'm not down. I think we have some players that want to prove themselves, coaches that want to prove themselves, and I think that having these hungry players, it leads to guys wanting to get. I don't know. I just want to see these guys compete. I want to see this roster keep going where it's going. I'm happy where it's going. We're 5-3 right now, guys, with rookies, with guys that last year, you guys are going to be so good with rookies. They're going to make you that much better. Ha, ha, ha. You got rookies that are going to make you better? Yeah. Ha, 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 ha. Well, guess what? They are making us better because we're using them right. They're using the coach, putting them in the right spot. Defense is holding teams to 19 points a game. And Zach isn't turning the ball over. And what happens when he does? He lost. So let's not turn the ball over tomorrow. Run the ball. Zach can't turn the ball over. He's handing it off. Let's get the running game going. Get him into a groove. If like Terrence just said, and Ray said it, if we're playing from behind, he's throwing the ball around, trying to catch up and get points fast. We're not going to run the ball. The clock's getting chewed. So I think that it's going to come down to Zach playing, not turn the ball over, and us getting Josh Allen to turn the ball over. He's a fumble machine. He's got 44 freaking fumbles in his career. What, 5 years, 4 years? He fumbles the ball almost every game. He's got 5 in 7 games this year. They lost 2 of them. I mean, they didn't lose all 5, but he's fumbled the ball 5 times in 7 games. It's almost every game. And you got guys that are leading the league in pressures coming at him. Quinnen, JFM. Now Jermaine's coming back. He's going to fumble the ball, guys. He's got to fumble the ball. And if he's not going to fumble, he's going to be pressured. He's going to throw a pick. Sauce is going to be covering him. That's my take. I know it's a hot take. It's probably unbelievable, and I'm probably one of the few that believe it can happen. But I really think our defense is strong enough to show that this guy's human. He's going to have a bad game.
And with no Marcus May on the team, we might just pick up the fumble this time.
I want to see C.J. Mosley play against Josh Allen like he did the game that he got injured and went left, and he was having the best game of his career. Stuff like that. I just want to see a good game. Like you said before, it's a measuring stick game. We want to see where we stand against one of the best teams, if not the best team in football right now. The best quarterback, what our defense looks like against the best quarterback, what our defense looks against a team that's all around, has everything. They really do. So I want to beat them, though. I don't think they're unbeatable. They've been beaten. They're not undefeated, are they? So why can't we beat them? Play them twice. If we don't beat them this time, we'll know what they can do. Maybe we'll beat them the next time. But it's any given Sunday. It's the NFL, professional athletes. And I think it comes down to coaching, and our coaches are starting to come around, guys. Got some garbage points, but we didn't lose 54-13 this time to the Patriots. So our guys are 5-3, and they're putting the guys in positions to win. And it's up to our guys to execute and not run into the corner of the end zone, almost giving up a damn safety, throwing the ball to the sidelines when you're narrowing who you're going to throw it to, or you're going to throw it across your body to Tyler Conklin, and the whole crowd and the whole stadium's going to say, "Holy shit, I almost just shit myself because the guy's wanted to who?" So we need him to covet the ball. We don't want him flicking at the wrist and showing him, I got these talent. Yeah, use it. Like the one play he had to Garrett Wilson, where he rolled to his left, threw it across his body to the left. Those are great. That's what we drafted you for, to be mobile, to look like the young John Elway that was mentioned before. We drafted you for that. But you got to take care of the ball. You can't constantly turn your back on the secondary, on the defense, on your receivers who are running routes, just to run to the sideline. And now you have, instead of how wide's the field, 30 yards, 40 yards, whatever the hell it is, you're giving yourself a 5-yard side? Like, what are you doing? Stay in the pocket, step up. If you're going to get sacked, it's a 1-yard loss, not a 6-yard loss or an interception. Throw it out of bounds. Step up. Mac Jones was doing it. He was getting sacked and getting pressured, but he wasn't turning the ball over because he would just tuck it and fall forward. Take the sack. Throw it away. Stop this scrambling too much, man. It's too much.
Justin, that's a product of him playing at BYU because he was such a superior athlete to the guys that he was playing against, where, come on, we saw a lot of highlights where guys were open by 10 or 15 yards after he scrambles. It's just
Josh Allen went to Wyoming, Ray.
I agree. And it took Allen 3 years for him to really develop. And I think that their tool set is completely different too. It almost feels like we've constantly spoken about it with Wilson, his footwork. It was horrible coming out of college, and it hasn't improved at all. It looked pretty good against Pittsburgh, but it's completely regressed since. And it's almost like he doesn't see over the offensive line that well, so he's fading away, so he's throwing his guys high. Allen will never have that issue because of his height.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely an aspect of seeing, like Justin Fields was Ohio State. He played against Alabama, and these schools that run pro-style defenses. So yeah, that you have 2, 3, 4 years of experience seeing those kind of defenses, where Zach isn't seeing those kind of defenses. But guys like Carson Wentz and there's so many, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they didn't go to these crazy Division I schools and seeing all these. It's the same look, or Division I, what I'm talking about. But they didn't see the same teams. They're not seeing professional NFL style defenses. So it's going to take them a little bit of learning curve. I get it, but they're also got to understand that you learn from a fan's perspective. You don't have to be a damn professional quarterback. That you're turning your back constantly to the play. You're not seeing what's going on. That's common sense. You don't need to learn that from not playing freaking Alabama. Like, he's got to stop throwing the ball into double coverage along the sideline. Like, that's just that's my. I can tell Lucas that my son. He's 8 years old. He knows. All right, don't go run the sideline. If you're gunning, there's nobody open. Throw it out of bounds. He's yelling at the TV, telling him this stuff. Like this is stuff that he's got to be smarter with, and it's costing you the game, dude. You got to be watching this tape and saying, "Wow, we could just beat the Patriots that we just lost to last year. We wanted to beat them so bad, 54 to whatever." Just seeing ghosts and all the stuff that we've gone through with this damn team, 13 in a row. He's getting George House's records and stuff, and it was because you wanted to do these turnovers. Turnovers cost you the game. I'm sure JFM wasn't happy about watching the hit that he made either. So, Terrence, go ahead.
Yeah, JFM probably was like you when you saw yourself chugging that day, but
You're getting sent to listen. You're getting sent to listen to
I
Terrence.
know, yeah. Block, you say, I'm gonna block you, motherfucker. No, anyway, I agree with what you and Ray just said about the scrambling. Even last year, as you said, he turns his back and tries to go the long way around somebody who's, on the edge rushing him. The second thing about that is, when he evades that guy, there's no plan. I don't know if it's that the receivers are not allowed to come back from their routes or, but
It's always Conklin. It's always Conklin.
Right, yeah, because I did notice early in the first half, there were a couple of plays where Conklin was there about maybe 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and Zach Wilson threw it to him, and he caught it. And I was like, okay, well, that's a little different from Denver, because, I thought, so the other problem is that when he does get around that guy, what's the plan? There is no plan. And like you said, if he's going to run, he's got to find that gap that is open because the edge basically made a move on the left tackle or the guard. There's got to be a hole somewhere, and he's got to move forward instead of like some people say pirouetting, trying to get around that guy, and that's what he's got. That's what he's got to do. I think Joe Bagonis, who's down there or was down there, was saying, he's afraid to get hit. So his first instinct is to stay away from the pocket and just be in open space. So that's a mental thing. And, I don't know how you alleviate that other than, going into the fire and basically, scrambling like around in the pocket and, between the numbers as opposed to just trying to spin and hope that something good happens. Because like you said, that he doesn't have a plan, then there's no design play for it. And although we remember that Miami last year, that play where he went around and basically he was able to get the tight end who's no longer on the team for like a 25-yard gain, that's the time everybody raves. But what usually happens is 2 out of 3 or 4 out of 5 times it ends up in an incompletion or, as we saw last week, an INT.
Justin, what happened last year to the RPOs that we would run every so often? Like, I think Zach is back with his knee. They were talking about it. If it's there, he's got to take it. We're the only team in the league that has a quarterback that's best on the run that refuses to run the ball.
That was something Tanard called me the other day. We were talking while he was on his break at work about that. He's like, why are we running backwards and not sideways with an RPO? It makes no sense. You have guys that are great in those kind of systems. You Garrett, Elijah, Berrios, and even some of the backs we got. They run these RPOs fine. The quarterback is definitely capable of doing it. I don't see why we're not doing it on the 3rd and 2s instead of throwing fade routes where it's like, okay, all we needed was 2 yards on a 3rd down or even a 2nd down. Run the RPO, run the play action, and get the first to move the chains and move to the next set of downs. But yeah, the RPO is definitely something I can't believe we're getting away from, Ray. That's such a great point. But
makes zero sense.
I think that we got to utilize our team, our roster skill set. We're not utilizing Elijah Moore, guys. It's still a pressing issue. The guy's talented, super talented. I don't understand why we're not using him. I think last week I was watching the game and they run a screen to him and it's batted down at the line and then it was it. It's like, why can't this guy run a slant on 5 yards and then get the ball thrown to him? I just stand there, on two and and he's standing there waiting for the ball on a damn screen or just why can't he can burn people and shake them out of their damn cleats on a route. Why is he just standing on the side? Get him involved. You know why he's not doing that? Because Zach's not looking forward. He's looking side. He's looking behind. He's got to get. Got to get to Elijah Moore. Get him a quick out on the screen. He's not looking forward on the slant where he needs to be. That's why Elijah's getting pissed off. That's why I don't blame him. But I think Zach can change, man. I think he can change. So I hope it's this week. I hope that he saw that he cost the team the game, and I really hope he learns from it. I think he's young, and I think he will. I think this is the week. So, what's up, Zach? How you feeling, buddy?
What up, Zach?
Hey, what's up, man?
You staying hydrated? You breathing over there? What's going on, man?
Breathing, yeah. I wasn't kind of breathing yesterday. And I had to go to the hospital real quick to get that fucking checked out because there's something blocking my throat that they needed to give me steroids. No, this shit's no joke.
Yeah, you're not sounding so good, Zach.
Yeah, because I don't get enough air to talk right. Like every time I breathe in deep, I'm coughing, so I'm trying not to cough on you. But
you should be resting instead of talking. No, if I'm not trying to, butt in or anything.
no, I've been resting. I have all the energy. It's just that I feel Monday was horrible. I got back from the tailgate, and Petey said that he was positive with COVID. And I told him on Monday when he said it to me, I said, "Don't tell me that because I'm going to get paranoid." And he's like, "No, don't be paranoid. I wasn't around you too much." I'm like, "All right." And then Monday night, it was horrible. And, I don't even remember when I woke up the next day. And then I woke up and I didn't eat anything till Wednesday. So I lost probably about like 15 pounds according to my scale. And then I started feeling better. And then all of a sudden something with my throat. It's like every time I talked, I wasn't talking right. And my brother's like, "Why are you stumbling with your words? Like you're muffled." I'm like, "I don't feel that way." And then I would cough and it would be something there. And I went to the hospital and the doctor was like, "It's that there's something in the middle of your throat that hangs down. Avola, I forgot what it's called. Something.
Yeah.
A polyp. No, it's not a polyp.
No, it's a uvula.
Uvula, yeah. Fucking polyp.
It's a clitoris.
So, who is that? Oh,
it's a Bills fan. He's trolling this fan.
Yeah, well, of course. They all are right now after my prediction. But, so whatever. Yeah, and then the doctor was like, "It's twice the size as it normally. So your air is getting blocked. Your food's probably getting blocked. And we need to do something." And I said, "Cut it out." I told him, "Cut it out right in the emergency room." He's like, "We don't cut it out. I have to give you a steroid." And then today I felt better. So yeah,
he's like the Ronnie Lott COVID story. Just cut it out.
I
got spaces to run.
Dude, but it's so bad. It's like so uncomfortable that you just like, I don't care. You can cut it out right now. I told him. He stopped laughing. But it was funny. He's seen my jet hat. And I go, "Well, how long is it going to take the steroid to shrink this thing?" And he was like, "Don't worry. By the time you watch the Jets get their ass kicked by the Bills, your throat will be back to normal."
Oh, that was nice.
I swear he said it. This guy was a young Italian doctor.
Bills fan?
No,
Bills
that's what I said. I said, "Oh, what are you, a Bills fan?" He goes, "No, I'm a Jets fan. Just the realistic one."
That's even worse.
I know.
Jesus.
I was like, he's like,
I'm gonna bring him a shirt.
But he knew what he was talking about because he wasn't one. Because I said, "Well, why do you feel that way?" He goes, "Well, once we lost Breece Hall," he goes, "Breece Hall and ABT," he goes, it's going to be really tough going forward." I was like, "Yeah, but with the defense we're going to put out, that we put out every week," and this is how I feel about this game. I don't think that this game's going to kind of go the way everybody thinks it's going to go. Anyone that gambles, when you got Kenny down there, anyone that gambles, whenever everybody's on one side of something, it generally doesn't happen the way it does. Now, I'm not saying the Jets will win, right? Not saying that. So I know this Bill guy just came off mute because he wanted to jump in on that. But
No, I agree with you. I think the Jets cover easily.
Yeah, I think that either they're gonna cover or something fucked up's gonna happen in this game. I'm not gonna wish anything on anyone. Look, this defense can score points themselves too. Something happens on defense, it's a momentum change, right? Josh Allen gets pressured. He throws a pass. Sauce Gardner picks it off, pick six, just say. Now you're up 7-0. You got this defense that causes havoc. Havoc. So, yes, make Zach Wilson play mistake-free football. Keep the fucking ball out of Josh Allen's hand. Look, the Jaguars, let me ask everybody, how many wins did the Jaguars have last year? You remember?
Less than us.
What do they have? Two, three?
Two wins. What, tell me who's because I bet the Bills heavy, and to destroy the Jaguars, and they went up to
scored 9
fucking
points.
Jacksonville and laid an egg. The things
But that can happen to any team.
What?
Who did the Bills play after us?
The Bills are on a bye after us, right?
No, we play.
They have one more. They have one less game than us already. So I think 2 weeks.
We already
ago,
had our bye. We had our bye the week before Green Bay.
So
who do you guys play next week? Jeremy, the giant Bill fan. Who do we play?
Yeah.
Who do you guys play after us?
We play the Vikings. Our schedule's been the hardest in the league.
Damn, you guys had a crazy schedule.
Oh, it's
Jesus.
brutal. It's a brutal schedule. It's crazy.
This is going to be your hardest ones tomorrow. That's nuts, man. What a crazy schedule.
No, just Bill. Like, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think like the Bills at a 13.5-point spread is crazy, and like it's the NFL, man. Anyone can win on any given day, and the Jets are a respectable team.
I just think that the defense is, as long as you keep giving me our defense the way it is, I'm in it every week. You're in the fucking game. I just feel that way. You're in the game. You got this defense. I'm a strong believer in this defense. You all are. You watch it. The lockdown corners on each side. It's not going to be so easy for them to do that.
Well, the thing that people overlook about us is our defense. It's as good as anyone.
Yes, listen, you got a great defense too.
Yeah, it could be a low-scoring game.
I think the Bills have one of the best defenses as well. And I think that Zach Wilson, they keep the ball on the ground, throw the passes, keep the ball, run the fucking ball. That's the one thing the Bills' Achilles heel is. You're a Bill fan, they're great against. They're not good against the run.
Yeah, our offense is just not designed to run the ball, and we don't have great running backs as a result of that.
Yeah, so run the ball.
Zach, Justin, are you guys nervous at all? Because we've seen this in the past. Prior Jet teams, without a doubt, it will worry me. But maybe it's changed. Are you worried that the following week is the bye where if we get down early, guys are just going to pack it in and get ready for the bye? Because we've seen that in the past where we absolutely lay an egg before a bye week.
I think you have a good coach. He won't let that shit happen.
I don't think so, man. I think these guys are still young and they're listening to the coach. They're buying in on the whole all gas, no break. I don't think I'm not worried about it. I'll just leave it.
I think Ray. I think
Zach?
I think this game represents fun for these young guys because they want to take down the Kings, right? The Kings of the NFL is pretty much the Bills. I don't buy too much into the Eagles. I watched them barely beat the fucking Texans. It's the Bills, and then it's everybody else. So it's the Bills, and you give the Chiefs and the Eagles. But I think it's fun for the Jets, this young Jet team. It's like, they're going out there, house money. No one expects them to win, so that's the best fucking games to be in. Like you have a chance to knock off the greatest team in the NFL, and that's how they're probably approaching it. Like, yeah, let's do it, and they're excited about it. Now, if they go down 14-0 in the first quarter, a lot of that air will be sucked right out of the stadium and sucked right out of that team too.
Yo, Zach.
You see what?
Zach, let me chime in a minute. I hear what you're saying. I think Jets is kind of weird. In my opinion, the defense is having fun. The offense is not having fun. You know, when you look at a guy like Allen, he's got, I was watching this video of him the other day, and they're talking about he's got a different handshake for every guy in his team, and this and that. And the other. They're out there having fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna start winning when Zach Wilson starts having fun. Right now, he's pressing. I think our defense can hold us in this, no doubt. You know what I mean? I think that and they can create turnovers. That's where my hope lies. But right now, the Buffalo's just having a blast, man. You know what I mean? They're just going out there having fun. They're so much better than everyone else. But any given Sunday, you know what? I'm telling you, we're going to start winning when you see Zach having fun. Now I see him. It's torture for him. He got the last time he went out and got in front of the cameras after the game last week, you can see in his face, he just got his ass, reamed out, he did. And, he was like a deer in headlights when he came out after that. He was upset. When he starts having fun, that's when that's when the whole tension, the pressures. I don't think they're there yet.
Yeah,
I think James, you're absolutely right. But the thing is I also think as this coaching staff is just I'm liking what they're doing. I was the biggest, listen, when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. All right. And I'll say that I had a big problem with this coaching staff in the beginning. Terrence is there. He has photographic memory, so he knows. And they started to produce, and I started to believe in them. The only one criticism I have of the Jets coaching staff is they're a little stubborn.
Right.
Like, we don't blitz.
Right.
Oh no, we're not a blitzing team. We don't blitz. Well, you better fucking blitz Josh Allen a little bit.
Well,
you can't let this guy sit back there and you think that your defense back there is just gonna
back, man. You're right now. The defensive line, they're starting to hone in on who the players are on defensive line now. They got rid of Martin. They said, you know what, Huff is this much better than Martin. We got to give this guy more snaps. He's got to get more reps in there.
Well, if you didn't notice, I mean, cut joke, but like we got JJ coming back, right? But like that's to Zach, what's his name, Martin. He was traded or whatever. But we had guys that need those reps. Huff was playing out, so those guys got to play. And I think that's going to be big for these guys. Like Zach was saying, something's going to happen. I was saying before, I just want him to hear it because he wasn't here before. But Josh has 44 fumbles in his career. He's got 5 this season in 7 games. So that's the part where that big play. I think Zach is the interception guy. Well, this guy's Achilles heel is his fumbles. So why can't
Justin? You gotta blitz. Me, Justin, and Benny were sitting there. Crystal was there as well. We were watching the Dolphin game all together in the stadium, and even before the game at the tailgate, we were just saying like, look, you got to fucking blitz. And the first thing they did is they opened up with a Sauce Gardner blitz, which he did a ton in college. Fast guy, fast, and he blasted fucking Teddy Bridgewater, almost a touchdown, but it was called a safety and all that. But you got to do that. You can't let Josh Allen stand there all day and throw the ball around. And I'm telling you right now, like, I hate to bring up Rex Ryan because he's probably my favorite Jet coach. He is my favorite Jet coach. He used to do all these crazy blitzes, and oh man, you could afford to do all these crazy blitzes. Of course I do. I got Revis and Cromartie back there. Of course I could blitz. He said that's the bonus of having lockdown corners. You can send the blitz.
Yep, you lock down half the side of the field with one of them. You got 2 of them. I mean, now you just protect the middle of the field, which is why we're struggling there because you don't have. I mean, Joyner's getting picks because they're not throwing to the sideline. Yeah, But let's go to Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny.
Kenny, do you believe in Zach now?
No, time will tell. That's the approach I'm taking. But here's what I got to say this evening about tomorrow's game. So basically, let's stop putting the Buffalo Bills as the greatest thing since sliced bread. They've never won a Super Bowl. Okay.
Thank you.
Last year they choked in the playoffs. They always choke in the playoffs. Let's just go toe to toe with them. And here's what I want to see tomorrow. I want to play a game tomorrow. If we lose, I want it to be because Buffalo beat us, not Zach handing them the fucking game. Excuse my language. That's what I want to see. Okay? If we lose, it's because Buffalo was better at executing, not Zach with the turnovers. That's what I want to see. You know, if we lose to them, big deal. But let's not put them like they're the Patriots for the last 20 years before the last few seasons. The Brady years. Those are teams that you respect and you feared. And but Buffalo, no, they haven't won nothing yet.
They're
They
not
haven't won
there.
anything, and the window does close fast in the NFL. So if Buffalo's going to win the Super Bowl, it better be within the next 2 years. I'm not going in there tomorrow with let's just play them tough, and no, we're not handing the trophy to the right fielder in Little League tomorrow. Okay, if we lose and it's a close game, I ain't taking anything positive out of it. So let's stop fucking throwing bouquets at them. Let's just go kick their ass. That's all I got to say.
Kenny, if I wasn't a jerk, I'd end the show on that right now, because honestly, that's what I've been fighting on Twitter for the last 2 days. Is listen, I think they're the better team. I wouldn't bet my house on the Jets on this game, but as a Jets fan, I'm not bound down to the Buffalo Bills. Don't have a single championship, and Josh Allen doesn't have a ring. They don't deserve the respect yet. For me as a Jets fan, and I will never ever say Josh Allen is who I want my quarterback to be. I want my quarterback to be better than Josh Allen, the one who has rings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Patriots, we tipped our hat to the Patriots because they got the Super Bowl trophies. Buffalo has nothing yet. Nothing. So let's just go there and kick their ass tomorrow. A home game. Can we finally win a home game? We're 1-3, whatever the hell we are at home.
Hey, Kenny, we're wearing those good luck uniforms. That might help.
All right.
They went back to the black pants.
We don't own green anymore, huh? No green anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
Somebody.
old
Oh,
school.
go ahead, Kenny. Finish up. I'm sorry. about that.
I like the white uniforms, to be honest with you. So, but listen, I don't care if they're wearing yellow and purple tomorrow. Just win the goddamn game. Yeah, Terrence.
Yeah, man. Thanks. No, somebody brought up Jermaine Johnson, and the one thing I'm hoping, besides the 2 sacks he did have before he got hurt, the one thing that he was when he did play, he seemed to be an anchor on the edge on run plays. And to me, that might be very important with Josh Allen trying to do some RPOs, when it's 3rd and short. Now, I don't know, I don't know if he's going to be shadowing Josh Allen, obviously, but I guess they'll find out what Josh Allen's tendency is. Does he run more to the right than he does the left, or in certain situations? Hopefully they figure that out in the film. And I would be curious to see if on those types of plays, Jermaine Johnson, is there. And then, also we got people like Clemens and people like that are young, like I don't want to take away JFM or any Lawson or anybody else there. But the one thing I did notice was Jermaine Johnson seemed to be a good anchor, like a couple of plays on the run. And that might be a nice design to counteract Josh Allen when he's trying to do the RPO.
Yeah, that's a great take, Terrence, because I think that the Josh Allen, the Jermaine Johnson coming back from injury is definitely, nobody's really talking about it that much, but I think it's very important because he was big before he got hurt. He was definitely a big part in that the rotation. They have him on the one edge and they had Martin on the other side. Obviously, he's gone. They're going to have Huff on that side, but those are your anchor points on those two. Those as your edge for a series. It could be, that's why Belichick
Justin,
was
what
smart.
he does for the run is so underrated. Go back and watch some of those plays he made earlier in the year when those running backs try to bounce it to the outside. His agility that he has with his hand placement and with his hips to reverse where he's going from up. You know who did that for years? Great. I'm not saying he's him, obviously not, but Von Miller. He would jet up the field, and when the ball would be going inside, he had the agility to bounce back and complete.
Yeah, because he would overplay the pocket and come back to it. And that's where, when it's a pass play, that could be dangerous for Buffalo because he could be on the run out of the pocket and you get tackled from behind. That's where you're going to have a lot of. That's what Jermaine was known for a lot of college, was overplaying the pocket and then collapsing it from the back, and that allows for your tackles to press in the middle. And I've seen that a lot from him. And I think what Terrence was talking about with the RPOs is playing that short. Is he extends the play so far to the right because he's quick on the edge. He isn't always attacking to the middle. He'll go to the backfield, which I see a lot. I see a lot of how Abraham was doing that with us back in years ago. He wasn't just hitting the guy in front of him. He would go to the backfield first and play he would be reading the run. It just seemed that way. You know what I mean? But go ahead, James.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Ray hit on that. Really stole my thunder there. No one sets an edge better than Johnson out there. Really, really quick out there. They can't. They try to zone block him and stuff, and he sets the edge perfect. But another guy I think is gonna have a really good game, and I think he's gonna fit this one perfect. And he's never seen these guys before. They've never seen Clemens before. And Clemens matches up real well against them. I think his strength, and if he gets close to Allen, he's going to take him down. He's a hell of a lot bigger and a hell of a lot stronger than Allen. Allen's a big boy, but I think Clemens is going to have a big game tomorrow.
I hope so, man. Allen is definitely a big guy. But I think that they're going to have to beat us with the running game. I really think they're going to have to go with Singletary. He's got 4.5 yards per carry, so he's in we're giving up 3.5 yards. So I think they're gonna try to challenge us up with their running game. But Josh Allen has got 19 touchdowns and 314 yards a game, so they're not going to shy away from what works for them either. So I don't know, but Bill Belichick last week he did something that I thought was super smart. He did a lot of no huddle offense that I saw, and what he did when he was doing that, he knew that our defensive scheme was rotational lines. But him doing hurry up offense, we weren't allowed to get those changes in there. So if Buffalo does something like that can change our scheme for having the fresh legs that we like to have with our defensive line. And Belichick saw that, and that's why he ran a lot of no huddle, because we couldn't substitute that line out.
No, but I wouldn't mind us doing a little, maybe not no huddle, but a hurry up offense a little bit to get Zach in the rhythm. He needs to get rhythm. You know what I mean? If we're going to try to establish the run, they should at least try a hurry up. Sometimes he's overthinking it. You know what I mean? I think if he can, everything should be 2 steps and let the fucking thing fly. If you're going to throw it, it's 2 steps and let it fly. Underneath stuff. Don't get crazy. Don't get stupid. Safe stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the play call's got to be a balanced play call. I don't think we should be going nuts out there airing the ball out if we're a good running team. But we also got to sense that their defense is given to us and what we're able to go with and make adjustments in game.
Chuck.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I got a question for Kenny. Kenny, how do you like in that line tomorrow at 11?
I wouldn't touch it. Stay away game. And I very, very rarely will I ever bet my teams. Very
well.
Rarely.
I totally get that. I'm coming. I've had a couple people from the outside perspective ask me about that game, because a lot of people are saying I'm taking the Bills at 11, and they can get them even higher. With lower count with a teaser. So I was just debating it in my head.
Teaser's a sucker bet.
100%. We all know that.
If for the sharp bettors out there, what you want to do is you want to buy it up to 13, take the Jets with the 13, and then take Buffalo minus 10. And then you're risking a little bit to win a lot if you hit both sides. That's the sharp thing to do.